audible, Mitali?
Yes, sir.
Others will join or
So they'll join.
yeah?
So your voice is breaking.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me start. Let them join. Okay. So what all we studied in module 1, we studied with respect to optical fiber communication, what its modes and different types of fibers, and how exactly those will be, its factors will be affecting during its propagation, correct? With activity profiles and all those we have seen in module 1. Okay. Now, we didn't deal with the transmission medium. It means whenever any particular light wave or electromagnetic wave which is propagating in any medium, now what will be happening during its transmission? Okay, that we didn't deal in detail in first module. Okay, so that we'll be studying in second module. Okay, that is transmission characteristics of optical fiber. Okay. Now, what exactly here we'll be studying is the different types of losses, that is attenuation loss, then material absorption losses, then linear scattering loss, non-linear scattering losses, then bending losses, then dispersions, okay, and some what different types of dispersions we'll be studying in detail. Okay, now this is what the module 2. Now I hope you understood what is module 2 and what it covers in module 2. Okay, any light wave which is propagating in an optical fiber. Okay, now what will exactly happen during its transmission, including its losses? Those losses will be studying in module 2. Okay, now nowadays, whatever the transmission characteristics we have, okay, this is probably one of the important parameter or important characteristic which has to be what analyzed for any OFC cable or for any wave which will be propagating through this fiber. Okay, now the main two important transmission characteristics for this will be the attenuation and bandwidth. Okay, one important parameter is attenuation, which is a loss, and one more is bandwidth. Now uh, attenuation, which is a loss with respect to an optical fiber. Okay, now it has to be what reduced. Now this whatever the attenuation loss we have, this will be analyzed with respect to different bands or different wavelength region in an electromagnetic spectrum, considering different materials which will be used to construct the optical fiber. Okay, now for all those different transition metals which are used to fabricate the OFC cable, okay, for all those materials to be used with different wavelengths, okay, we will be analyzing its graph. Okay, next. Now, if we consider the bandwidth of this optical communication, it should be large enough. Correct? Now, if and only if its bandwidth is huge, then only there shall be a chance of transmitting what the light wave signals with considerable low losses and what reaching the longer distances. Okay. Now, because of this, what because of its what the large bandwidth, it finds its application in telecommunication signals or in telecommunication area. Okay. Now, now usually whatever the glass material which has been used to fabricate this or the silica glass which has been used to what fabricate this fiber cable, it will be traveling for a few tens of meters. Yeah? Now it means after few tens of meters, what happens? It starts to attenuate. Correct? That attenuation will be due to what the absorption in the glass. Okay. Now, whatever the glass material which we have considered, it may be filled with some impurities, such as transition metal elements like iron, copper, manganese, and some other transition materials, which are the third row elements of a periodic table. Okay. Now, all those elements we will be calling as transition elements. Why the valence electrons of its with respect to the valence band, it starts to what transit from one layer to another layer during its higher valence band. Okay. Now, due to which what happens, there will be a considerable attenuation losses. Now, from 1960s till 2000, a lot of research has been taken over. A lot of research has been conducted. Now what? They started to change the material what they tried to use to fabricate the optical fiber. Okay. Now, usually those losses will be expressed in terms of decibels. That already we know. Now we should minimize it, or it should be in the order of less than 0.2 decibels per kilometer. Now, decibels per kilometer means there is some not magnetic, some magnitude, for example, say 0.2, it should be near to zero. Okay, practically, it is not at all possible of having zero. There will be some amount of attenuation loss. Correct? Now, this is expressed in terms of decibels per kilometer. Means whatever the fiber cable we have, that will be laid for certain kilometers. Now, I am trying to establish the signal loss per kilometer per unit length, and that length is in terms of kilometers. That's all. Okay, this is the unit which will be used to calculate the attenuation. Okay. Now, and as I just mentioned, these will be operating with respect to UV region, IR region, then mid infrared region, near infrared region. Okay, it means it is almost covering the what high frequency component of an electromagnetic spectrum. Correct? Now, at such cases, we need to analyze the light wave with respect to its operation wavelength range, so that it should have substantially low losses covering longer wavelengths. Okay, that which we should take care during its fabrication process. Okay. Now, in one more important characteristic what I told was the bandwidth of the fiber. Now, usually what this bandwidth will give you, what does that bandwidth mean? Anyone? What does that bandwidth mean, or why we require that bandwidth? Yes. What is that bandwidth? Anyone?
A range of frequencies.
Sorry, my voice is not audible. My voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's a range of frequencies.
Yeah, it is the range of frequencies. Correct. Now, can you give me the region where this bandwidth may get affected? So, who will limit this bandwidth? Who may limit the bandwidth? Yes. Anyone? Hello. Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir, audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you give me the answer for that? We already know what is the bandwidth, correct? Now that bandwidth will be limited or will be affected by whom or by what process? See here. Can you see the slide? Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, what exactly happens in attenuation and what exactly happens in dispersion? See here. The transmission characteristics, means it is purely going to affect during the transmission of a light wave. Okay. Now, two important characteristics: attenuation and the bandwidth. That attenuation is also called as a transmission loss. Okay. And the bandwidth will be limited, or it limits the information due to dispersion phenomena. Okay. Now, see, the figure will tell you. Now, attenuation means what happens? I have a signal. Okay. See, what is the output signal? I mean, what will be the output after attenuating? What happened here in the first case? Anyone? What happened in the first case? Yeah, what happened here?
Amplitude reduced.
Amplitude reduced. Correct? A signal or a light wave which traveling after a certain distance, it loses its magnitude or amplitude or whatever. It means the entire signal what I had at the origin, it means I'm not getting the same original signal back. That will be due to attenuation. Clear? And this attenuation is due to what? The what due to absorption in the glass material, which will be due to what? The impurities. Okay. And next one more is the bandwidth. And now what can you infer from the second figure? Have a signal, light wave signal. After dispersion, what you can observe? After traveling certain length, what happened to the original signal at z equal to L? Can you tell me here? Yes? Usually this what the bandwidth means, it will be determining you, or it will give you how many number of bits of information was transmitted in a given time period. Correct? Now once that attenuation has been reduced to an acceptable level, okay, then the dispersive properties will start come into picture. That means now the light wave is with enough attenuation level. It means below which the loss will not occur. Correct. Now after that, we have one more phenomena which affects the signal. Correct. Now that phenomena is called as dispersion. Now what is happening here? Yeah, what can you infer from that second figure? Vitali?
So phase
So,
change.
sorry. There is a delay, correct, or phase change. Then there is a delay, of course, correct. Next, what else you can observe?
Overlapping.
Ankita, yeah, overlapping, or the technical word interference. Okay, delay, interference. Then, or I can tell that there is a scattering of light waves. It means these I cannot track these as a uniform wave. These will be in a scattered manner. These will be in a dispersed manner. Okay, we will be studying in detail with respect to this dispersion at the end of this module. Okay, now for just time being, understand what these are the two main important parameters which affect the performance of an optical fiber. Okay, that is attenuation, which is the transmission loss, and one more is the dispersion. Okay, now we'll move with the next concept. Okay. Now, with respect to various attenuation mechanisms will see. Now we already know what is an attenuation. Now how exactly these attenuation may happen or what these attenuation mechanisms are. Okay, or these will be due to, as I mentioned before only, due to what the material absorption, due to linear scattering, due to non-linear scattering, or due to fiber bends. Of course, so the cable should be flexible, and due to that flexible nature, there may be a bending of waves, due to which there may be some extra absorption of those transition elements or metals, due to which there will be attenuation losses. Okay. Now we'll see one by one what all those different types of losses. We'll move with the first one. Okay. And here he has just mentioned what those impurities such as iron, copper, manganese, and all other transition metals. Okay. And with respect to here, he has mentioned what were the drawbacks over there. Correct? Okay, 90s, what happened in 70s, what happened? There was a tremendous improvement. The material which was used, silica based glass fiber, which was having the loss less than 0.2 decibel kilometers, all is just mentioned over here. Okay. Now that all those will be studying in detail in the further part on the next part. Okay. The first one, the attenuation. Now, what exactly do you mean by attenuation? This attenuation is nothing but what? It's a transmission loss, okay, which is given by the letter. Given. What is the letter used to represent the attenuation constant? Yes. What is the letter used to represent the attenuation constant? Purnima, Vitali, Supama,
Sir, alpha.
alpha. Simple, correct? So alpha will be used just to represent this attenuation factor. And this is also called as the transmission loss. And this loss will be due to what? Or during the transmission of a wave along the medium. And that medium could be anything. Okay. Now, with respect to, or we will define this attenuation loss. And this attenuation loss is given in terms of decibels. That is number of decibels. Okay. Now, what do I do? Signal attenuation within the optical fibers, as with metallic conductors. So that will be usually expressed in terms of what I told. That is what the logarithm. Log logarithmic unit of decibel. Okay. Now, how it will be defined is Pi by P naught. What is Pi and what is P naught? Pi is the input power or the transmitted power, and P naught is the output power or the received power. Okay. You may wonder it is something looking like different. Correct? Transmitted is Pi or PT. We also call it as a PT, and the output power, which is P naught, which is received power, which is also called as PR. Okay, that's the normal convention which we use. But here they have used it as transmitted power or the input power as Pi and output power as P naught. The ratio of this with log will give you the attenuation log. Simple. And this is with respect to 10 into log of Pi by P naught to the base 10, so much of decibels. So why usually these mathematical stuff will be always or very often expressed in terms of decibels, just to what? Just to avoid complex multiplication and division. Okay. Even with the powers and roots, just to reduce it to multiplication and division. Okay. All those highly complicated operations can be reduced to just simple addition and subtraction using such what a quantity expressing in decibels. That's all. Okay. Next. Now we'll find the total what the signal, that is Pi by P naught will be 10 to the power dB by 10. Now, we'll calculate this attenuation per unit length, that is decibels per kilometer. Already I just told its unit. Now how to express this in terms of decibels per kilometer? Okay, that is alpha dB, that is attenuation in terms of dB per unit length. Okay, which is equal to 10 into log of pi by p naught. See, can anyone tell me? See here, the attenuation is expressed in decibels per unit length. See, the unit is decibels per kilometer, but here they have mentioned it as alpha dB into L. Correct? Whether it should be alpha dB by L or what? This is correct, or it should be alpha dB by L.
dB by L, sir.
Should be alpha dB by L, right? I think there is a mistake over here. Correct? As they have mentioned its unit, decibels per kilometer, it should be alpha dB by L. Okay. And this alpha dB is nothing but what? It's the signal attenuation per unit length. See, again, he is mentioning here per unit length divided by L. Okay. And that will be referred as fiber loss parameter. And that L will be the fiber length. Okay. The fiber length means the optical link, the entire optical fiber laid for how many kilometers or for the distance. Okay. Now, considering all these few numericals, sorry, what the formulas, we'll solve one problem on this quickly. When the mean optical power launched into an 8-kilometer length of fiber is 120 micrometer, okay, this is input power, and the output power is 3 microwatts. Okay. Total length of fiber is given, input power is given, output power is given. Now I need to find out the overall signal attenuation, then signal attenuation per kilometer, then the overall signal attenuation for what given length, optical length. Okay. Then finally, the numerical input bar output power ratio. Yeah, this all we need to calculate. Now, signal attenuation or the alpha that is given by what? 10 into log of pi by p naught. So pi is given, which is 120 microwatts, divided by p naught is given 3 microwatts. Just simple, substitute it. So this will cancel, and it leads to 10 into log of 40 to the base 10, which will be how much? 16. You can calculate it. There is nothing much complicated in this step. A. In the next step, I need to calculate the signal attenuation per kilometer for the fiber. That is alpha dB by L. Okay, now we have already calculated that is signal attenuation is given by what? 10 into log of pi by p naught is nothing but what? It is alpha dB into L or divided by L. Divided by L. That is 16. So that I already know. Yeah. From what I have calculated, this can also be equated to alpha dB by L. Correct. Now what exactly I need? I need signal attenuation per kilometer. Okay. Now see here the signal attenuation per kilometer for the fiber. Now the total length of the fiber is given. It is 8 kilometers. Now I use that 8 kilometers. It is alpha dB. Oh, see here. Now you can think over here. Now what is it here? Alpha dB. If it is divided by L, now it's 16 into 8. But now what here is an alpha dB is 16 by 8. Now, can you tell me? Yes. Any problem here? Any problem here? Per unit length. Audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, can you just tell me what is this? Is it correct or is it wrong? The total signal attenuation is 16 decibels. Now I need how many decibels or what will be the signal attenuation per kilometer? It will be 16 by 8. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now we may wonder here alpha dB by L. Actually, mathematically it should be alpha dB by L only per unit length. The same thing I am trying to do here. 16 by 8. Yeah, alpha dB by L. 16 divided by the length of a cable. I hope this is clear. Any doubt here? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So what is the signal attenuation per kilometer? It is 2 decibels per kilometer. Okay. Now next what I am trying to do, we will increase what was earlier, it was 8 kilometers. Now I am trying to increase it to 2 kilometers. Now the optical link is 10 kilometers. Okay. Next, for the 10 kilometer, there are splices at 1 kilometer intervals. Okay. And each kilometer has an attenuation of 1 decibel. Okay. If it is of 10 kilometer optical link, then how many splices you will get? Yes. If it is a 10 kilometer optical link, how many splits you will get rather than splices? Or how many splits you will get, or splices you will get? Yes. Are you getting or not? Purnima, Mitali, Nupama, Nikita. Hello.
No, sir.
Not getting. Okay, fine. Say for the 10 kilometer optical link. Okay, now what do? You just draw 10 dashes. Now try to link from 1 to 1. Okay, just draw 10 slashes or 10 hyphens. Correct?
Item details मध्ये जा. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Item details.
Of course, you will be getting again 10 dashes if you count. But slices I am asking you. From 1 to 1.
Yes.
From 1 to 1. From 1
Yes.
to 2. There will be
10 slices.
10 slices. No. There will be 9 slices. See, you will be transiting from first to second. 1. Got my point? You just draw 10 hyphens. Okay. Now from first to second, you will consider 1 splice. Correct? Just draw an arrow from first splice to second splice. 1 arrow. Like that, how many arrows you will get? How many arrows?
9, sir.
9, correct? So 9 splices I will be having. Of course, it's a 10 kilometer optical link having 10 hyphens or 10 dashes. Now, considering splices as a concept for an optical fiber, okay, having an what at 1 kilometer intervals each, giving an attenuation of 1 decibels each again. Okay, I will be having 9 splices. Okay, next that 9 splices. Okay, before that 9 splices, I need to calculate what for 10 kilometers. What is alpha dB? Correct. Now alpha dB is, we calculate that is 2 decibels per kilometer. Now how many kilometers? It is 10 kilometers. So 2 into 10 will give you 20 decibels. The problem in C? Any problem in C? Yes?
No, sir.
Okay, it's simple. Okay. Now the total alpha will be 2 decibels per kilometer. Now I need to calculate it for 10 kilometers. So 2 into 10 will be 20 decibels. Next, I have to calculate the total signal attenuation for 9 splices, each of 1 dB. Correct. Now here he has clearly mentioned for 9 splices or for at an interval of 1 kilometers, it is with 1 decibel loss. He has mentioned here. Each giving an attenuation of 1 dB. If there are 9 splices, I will be getting 9 decibels. Correct? There will be the loss due to the, so those 9 splices will be 9 decibels. Why? Each splice will be of 1 decibel. Correct? Now, what will be the total signal attenuation? At 20 plus 9. So 29 decibels. So this is the total signal attenuation. Any doubts still here? Any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay. Next, we just told to calculate the numerical value of this input by output power ratio. Simple. Pi by P naught will be 10 raised to this 29 decibels divided by 10. Okay, 29 by 10 means 2.9 somewhere. So 10 raised to 2.9 will be 794.3. Okay. So 10 raised to 3, if I consider, it will be 1000. Okay, and this is less than 1000. So 794. Somewhere around approximately 800. Okay. Rest of this problem, simple substitution with little manipulations. Is the problem clear? Yeah, any doubts? Please ask.
No, sir.
Okay. Now whatever the mechanisms which were involved and which was responsible for the signal attenuation, okay, those mechanisms will be what usually influenced by what the materials which we are using, correct, and what procedure we follow to manufacture that fiber, correct, and what purification techniques we use, and how exactly we make or we give the waveguide structure. So all those will be what affecting the mechanism, due to which there will be a signal attenuation. Okay. So material composition means what? The materials which used to develop or fabricate the fiber. Correct? The preparation and purification technique. Now you know how the glass are fabricated or developed. It means it will be heated. It means there is its own procedure. Then the same procedure will be followed over here, and it should be purified. You know, purification technique. Correct? It means if it is not purified, again there will be some elements or impurities due to which there will be again absorption. Correct? It means this process is also important. Next is the waveguide structure. You know the waveguide structure, how it should be for an optical fiber cable. Now all these three main things will be responsible for the signal attenuation. Clear? Okay. Now we'll go with the next loss. That means the first loss. That is the attenuation loss, which was due to material composition. Correct? And that material composition is divided into two types. That material absorption is divided into two types. One, intrinsic absorption, and another one is extrinsic absorption. Okay. Now, as I just mentioned, this is a loss which is completely or purely related to the composition and the fabrication process. Yeah, now, due to which there will be the dissipation. Okay, in terms of heat. Yeah, now, when any wave which has been absorbed by its base material, now what happens if it absorbs? Okay, now that whichever which is what the wave which was absorbed, that will turn out in the form of heat in the waveguide, due to which the wave may not propagate further. It means there will be a dissipation, correct? And those all will happen due to intrinsic as well as extrinsic. Intrinsic absorption, extrinsic absorption. Okay. Now here they have clearly mentioned what is that? Intrinsic absorption will be due to the interaction with one or more of the components present in the glass material, and its extrinsic will be caused due to impurities within the glass. Say interaction and impurities present. Now, can anyone tell me with respect to semiconductor theory, what does this interaction mean? Quick. Yes, anyone? when there will be an interaction according to a semiconductor theory. So, you know, silica or the periodic table I am talking, silica I am telling, or what? The semiconductor theory I am using. Considering all those, what may be this interaction? Yes? Yes? Purnima, Vitali, Anupama. Anupama, are you there? Ankita?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is this interaction? Vitali? Purnima?
Yes, sir.
You know bands? What are those bands? Valence band, correct? Now, why it is, why or what may be the reason of this interaction? See, just read the above line. Due to heat, what happens? The electrons present in one band will jump to other band, correct? It means the ions will try to excite. It means there will be an excitation process, and that excitation process, due to which there will be a heat, or due to heat there will be such interactions happening. Correct? Now, you know, silica or the material which has been used to fabricate the fiber will be with 2 to 3 materials. Okay? So they try to interact, due to which there will be an intrinsic absorption. Correct? Now that will be one of the absorption laws. And one more is the impurity is already present in the glass. So now we'll see these both. Now there is intrinsic absorption. Usually this is observed in the basic material, as I just mentioned. Okay, now this will be purely working with near infrared region. So now we have so many regions, UV region, IR region, and IR is split into two, near and far. Okay. Now these particular different regions with respect to attenuation, I have a graph over here. You can just see this graph. Now what does this graph tells? This is an attenuation spectra for the intrinsic loss mechanism. Okay. Now what is that? See, as the energy increases, what happens to your attenuation? Yes. As the energy or the photon energy increases or the light packets increases in the medium, what will happen to your attenuation? Yeah. Or try to analyze in other way. As the wavelength increases, what will happen to your attenuation? Following or not? Am I audible or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you analyze this graph? See, the wavelength is, see the top values. The wavelength is increasing in terms of micrometers or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct? Now, when wavelength is increasing, I can also tell in terms of the light packets also increasing or decreasing. It is decreasing. The energy is decreasing over here. You can observe it. I have 2 here and it is 0.6 over here. Okay? Now, these two are inverse. You know that based on the formula. Okay? Now, forget that. Now, only consider the wavelength with attenuation. Now, as the wavelength increases, what will happen to your attenuation? Attenuation is increasing or decreasing? At least see this graph, the one which I am highlighting here. So what is happening as the wavelength is increasing, the attenuation is reducing to some extent. Correct? Now, in between 1.7 and 2, again the attenuation starts to increase. It means kindly tell me what should be the wavelength of a light wave to have minimum attenuation. What should be the wavelength value to have minimum attenuation? Are you understanding or not? See, if I consider attenuation factor, this side, where the attenuation is more, is it at 10 or is it at this point? I mean, at top or bottom, where the attenuation is more?
Top.
10 is top, correct? Here the attenuation is more. Now, where the attenuation is almost less, here it is at the bottom. Correct? Now, can I tell here 0.3? Now, if I just draw a line with respect to 0.3 and 1.5, correct? Are you following or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. It means see here the attenuation is more. Correct? Now, from I can consider from 1 only. From 1 to 10, now what is the wavelength band for it? See, till 1.5, it will be more. So it will be with more attenuation. Correct? Now, from 0.3, it means somewhere from 0 or 0.1 till 0.5, 0.1 till 0.5, or even we can consider it from 0.8 to 1.7. Okay, practically what they have designed. 0.8 to 1.7 micrometers. There I'll be having minimum attenuation. And as such, we need to analyze this with respect to different regions. That's all. We have UV region, I have IR region here. Okay. Now we just analyze for a total loss. Okay. Now again, these will be completely related with excitations and all. That means this will be due to what? The stimulation of electron transitions within the glass material. Correct? Now due to which there will be what? The transition. Okay. Now we may have some peaks and tails over here. All those just we have mentioned here. Okay. The next step is extrinsic. Simple. Now what is this extrinsic? As I just mentioned, this will be due to or the signal attenuation or whatever the general signal attenuation we tell, that will be due to the major component of extrinsic. It means impurities. See, we can try to avoid the excitation, correct? But we need to take care during fabrication process only. What? To reduce the impurities to be put in the silica material during fabrication process. Correct? Now, whatever the base materials which we are trying to put during fabrication process needs to be taken care before we produce it. Correct? That is what the melting techniques or the transition related, I mean, transition metal element related impurities, all those will be giving you the extrinsic absorption. And due to which there will be a signal attenuation. Okay. Now we have some what the elements or metals on which or for which we have its own peak wavelength. Okay, it means this peak wavelength will tell you the absorption. It means at this wavelength they are going to absorb. Okay, it means at I mean for 625 nanometer peak, it is going to absorb. Which particular material? CR. Now what is that CR? Can anyone tell me what is this element? What is CR? Can anyone tell me what is CR? Yes? SCR, Ankita, Purnima, Mitali.
Chromium.
Chromium. C stands for what is
Carbon.
C? Carbon. Cu, copper.
Copper.
Fe,
Ferrium.
Fe,
Iron, sir.
iron. Ni,
Nickel.
nickel. Mn,
Magnesium.
Magnesium.
B, B is
When need
yeah. B is what is B?
vanadium.
Yeah.
Vanadium.
Vanadium. Okay. Okay. Now all those whichever we have the transition elements or transition metals. And one more thing. What are these 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus? Can anyone tell me what these are? 4 plus 3 plus.
Free electrons.
Those are free electrons. Okay. Then anyone? Yes, what those are? Is it electrons or protons or ions or what?
Ions.
Ions. Correct? Okay. Anyway. Now those different metals, whatever here we have, it means as per the table, they have specified the peak wavelength. Okay. Now what this peak wavelength will tell, at this peak value, it is going to absorb the light wave. How much? By 1 part in 10 raised to 9. 1 part in 10 raised to 9 means at this peak, see, if I have 10 parts, so 1 part in those 10 raised to 9 parts, it is going to absorb at this wavelength. That's what it means. Okay. And one more important factor associated for this extrinsic loss will be due to the OH content, that is water content. You know, when glass will be manufactured or the silica material is what fabricated for an OFC or for an fiber, it will be mixed with water, that is OH. It means that will be dissolved in the glass. And what does this water or the hydroxyl component will do when dissolving? So these will try to stretch its vibration at different wavelengths. Why? Due to heat again. Correct? I repeat again. Whatever the hydroxyl or the OH components or the OH ions which are dissolved in the glass, okay, these try to stretch its vibrations at different wavelengths. And he has given a range, it is 2.7 and 4.2 micrometers. Okay. For this definite, what the given wavelength range, this OH component starts to what vibrate, due to which there will be an extrinsic loss. Okay. Now even we need to take care of this hydroxyl component during fabrication process. Okay. This is what this is due to the water content, which is an extrinsic loss. Okay. Now with respect to that, here we have 3 tones, that is first tone, second overtone, and third overtone. The higher the frequency, I am having higher attenuation. It means it is going to excite at large. Yeah, that is what here it is mentioned. The first overtone, second overtone, and third overtone, which will be telling you the peaks. That's what here it is mentioned. Peak wavelengths. Okay, so this is the absorption spectrum with respect to the hydroxyl OH in silica material. Okay. Now, same thing if we analyze. Yeah. Now, can anyone tell me where the attenuation is less. For what wavelength the attenuation is less? Yes. Analyze this graph and tell me. 3.3. Quickly see this graph and tell me for what value of wavelength the attenuation is less. Huh. Yeah, can anyone tell me? Purnima, Vitali, Ankita.
So at 1.6,
At 1.6, again it started to increase. Correct? See, I hope my cursor is visible. Correct? At 1.6, if I just draw a line, it is increasing. Correct? See this dotted line. So it is at one almost in between 1.4 and 1.6. What it will be? Somewhere near to 1.5. I'm having less amount of attenuation. Am I correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
yes,
Yes or
yes.
no? Correct? Yeah, that's what is mentioned here. Somewhere in between 1.31 and 1.55, he has given a range. Okay, practically we will be having a range. Or here you can also read this. It may be observed that lowest attenuation for this fiber, it occurs at wavelength of 1.55 micrometers and it will be 0.2 decibels. Okay, this is the minimum attenuation we will be getting for this wavelength. 1.55 at 0.2. Here, 1.55 at 0.2. 0.02. Now at this point, the attenuation will be somewhere around 0.02. Okay. For what value of wavelength he has given, it should be 0.02. Clear? Any doubts here? See, again, this will be studied with respect to Rayleigh scattering. Okay, the scattering phenomena we will be studying next. Okay. Now, this will vary. I mean, the wavelength will be varying. The wavelength due to wavelength change in wavelength, we will be having different regions. Correct? And this will be analyzed for different regions. So for IR, the wavelength band is this much, and for UV, the wavelength band is somewhere here. Correct? Now, accordingly, I mean, according to the wavelength and the regions, we will be having attenuation. Correct? And also the materials which are used for the fabric, the fabrication process. This is all about what the intrinsic and extrinsic loss. And he has just given the bands over here and its wavelength range. Correct? So what we have mentioned here is the ITU band, that is International Telecommunication Union, some standard bands he has mentioned: O band, E band, S band, L band, and U band. Okay? On these bands, they have got their own wavelength range. So now for these wavelength range, we will be having certain peaks and all. Okay? Now those will be used, or these bands will be analyzed with respect to what? The transmission of optical signals from 1.26 to 1.615. From 1.26 from 1.615, the optical signals will be permitted to travel with a losses less than 0.4 decibels. Okay. And whatever the wavelength range here we have from 1.2 to 1.6, so that will be split into these bands. That's all. And these bands will be individually used for certain applications. Okay. for a different wavelength band designation. So those will be used for different applications in WDM or TDM or wherever. You know, WDM and TDM. WDM stands for, anyone? What is it? WDM and TDM?
Time division method.
Yeah, time division multiplexing, and WDM stands for no. Vishali, Ankita.
It's a wavelength division method.
Yeah, it is wavelength division multiplexing. Correct. Yeah, it is wavelength division multiplexing. Okay, now for those two applications, depending upon these bands, it will be employed for this range. That's all. Okay. Okay then. We'll stop here. We'll continue in the next class with linear and non-linear scattering losses. Okay. Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.